Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Psychic Tarot Show with Ashala here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube and Rumble channel. I'm bringing you insights, predictions, forecast for this upcoming week, October 12th to the 19th. Before we get started, as always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. I'm going to pull that up here in a moment for you to have a look at. And also, if you would like to book a session with me, you can find me over here on the Beyond Mystic consultations page. And you can use the coupon code Beyond Mystic capitals to receive a discount. I'm going to put the banner on here in a moment and you can have a look at, check that coupon code link and you can receive 10% off. I am booking sessions in the next week or two. I'm actually off next week because I'm on the move again. So I am taking bookings in the following week and there's still a few spaces there if you'd like to book a session with me. And while we're chatting about what's coming up here, I want to remind you about our conference, the Beyond Mystic Conference 2025. Tickets are on sale now. The VIP Mystic Passes are already sold out and early bird pricing, limited spaces are available for that. So check out the links below. You can buy your passes before that early bird pricing runs out. So let's look now. Oh, did I not add it? There we go. There's my sessions. Sorry about that, everybody. This is always such a learning curve for me. And here's the conference. Love it. Okay. So let's have a look at this upcoming week. Hi, everybody. Ricky, Monica, Unruffled Grace, Lorella, Donna, Spicy Dome. Beautiful. Lovely to see so many of you showing up on these lives. And I love what you're sharing in the chats. And it's super exciting to have some kind of interaction with you. You can put maybe some questions over there today, put them in capital letters. And then when I'm scrolling down, it's just easy for me to find those. So I'm going to shuffle on behalf of all of us, and we're going to have a look at this upcoming week. What do we need to know about this week? I know I'm going to be in a lot of transition, but regardless of where we are and what we're going through, so many people down in the Southeast states going through a lot of uncertainty, a lot of chaos. And even if we're not directly impacted by those changes, we're all feeling it. So how do we work together and stay grounded, stay positive, stay in a good frequency in our hearts? We're going to start off with ourselves. Where are we at this week? I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger. Here we go. There we go. So 10 of Cups is, I want to say, it's the expansive heart. It's as far as the heart can reach. You know, in the old story of the Grinch whose heart kind of burst and grew 5 times. Well, this is almost like the heart growing 10 times. It's the 10 of Cups. And tarot is very similar. In fact, the regular playing cards, we think that the tarot is somehow related to them. It's actually the forerunner of the regular playing card decks. So when we see cups in the tarot, it's actually hearts in the deck of playing cards. Emotions. relationship, and also coming from the heart. The 10 is as far as you can go. It's far reaching, expansiveness in the heart. It's some people say, oh, it's unicorns and rainbows. It's a little bit too joyful and optimistic. We might be living with our head in the clouds. Let's have a look at what's around it, because we can determine how this is aspected by the cards that are in the vicinity of it, the ones that are on either side of it. So let's see what the next card shows us. Oh, okay. So, if you want the very, very, very most positive assurance of a beneficial outcome in the tarot, you're going to look to probably 2 or 3 cards. Sun is one of them, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. 10 of Cups follows pretty closely behind that. So what I'm sensing here, this has to do with our security. It has to do with us feeling safe, feeling like we belong here on this planet. We belong in this human family. A lot of us have been like, I don't know. I don't know what the human family is even about anymore. We look out and we see people acting in such strange and horrific ways. And we are like, are they even people? Well, this is, to me, I want to say the resurgence of the best versions of ourselves. And I'm not just talking optimistic here. If this had been the Tower or the Devil or something really challenging, I would have said it. You know that by now. So, and you saw I shuffled the cards. Basically, we're off to a beautiful start here. And both of these cards, Aries and Taurus, these houses, it's a lot about the ego. It's a lot about, I want to say, our little selves, the ones that are really afraid and need to feel in control. Because we have this 10 of Cups and the Sun related to our ego, it feels like we're going to feel safer, more open inside of ourselves. We're going to trust, and where does trust start? It starts within. So we're going to trust ourselves. It's interesting. Right now I'm being shown that we are being so connected to the solar energy, these upgrades from the solar system, from that radiant ball of light consciousness. And we can look, when we are kind of looking through the eyes of that radiant consciousness, loving light, power neutral, seeing, all the hidden things, but shining brighter than all the darkness. When we are operating from that place, everything we look at, we can find the beauty. We can find the up-leveled version of it. So this week is a lot about seeing beauty everywhere you go. It's almost like wearing solar radiant glasses. They talk about wearing rose-colored glasses. It feels like we're wearing these radiant glasses that are literally, allowing us to see the magnificence, allowing us to step out of the little smaller versions of the ego and these tragic storylines, these long-standing narratives that have been holding us back for eons and eons. Somehow, many of you this week are going to feel liberated and able to see differently. You may even experience seeing colors. Now, we've been seeing what they're calling northern lights. I mean, who even knows at this point? I know I've seen northern lights for years and they don't look the way these ones do. However, I'm also really aware that we are looking at massive solar shifts, and I believe that we are bringing in new light frequency. So when you put that light of the sun next to this high frequency, almost like the rainbow energy, the full spectrum light, it's a pretty power-packed duo. Okay, now Gemini. Where are we at with our thoughts, with our ideas, with our plans, with our ability to talk? Remember last week we had great communication. Let me know in the chats if it was good for you last week in the sense of being able to speak clearly, to be seen and heard by others. I felt like it was not necessarily all the way across the board for me, but there was definitely some moments where I was able to navigate in certain conversations in a way that I didn't think was possible. And so I felt like I got upgraded somehow, or it felt like I was able to be more relaxed, more confident in speaking my truth. So this week, we've got the King of Cups here. The King of Cups is deep, deep, deep emotionally. He's like the most emotionally deep of all the tarot characters. He's not afraid to feel. And when he's in a house like Gemini, I guess we're looking at he's not afraid, or we're not afraid to express, to talk about our feelings, our deepest feelings and vulnerabilities. Let's see what's on the other side of him to see how well he's aspected. Okay, another well aspected card, a 7 of Wands. Sevens are the spiritual number. Wands are the energy of spirit. This is in the house of home and family. So this is a week where we can again traverse across the terrain of differences of opinion. So this character is actually standing between two land masses. He's straddling across the Great Divide. And the name of this card is Valor. He's holding the high ground. Now, here in Canada this week, we have our Thanksgiving holiday over this long weekend. This is a long holiday weekend. And so people will be likely spending time with family at some point here in Canada. And there is something about, I want to say, energetically, energies are weaving together with a bit more grace than usual in our family dynamics. Sometimes I see this card as literally like a needle and a thread that's pulling all the loose ends together and bringing this harmony into all these loose ends. And this is in your area of home. So even if it's almost a little bit like, not fake it till you make it, but assume better than normal. And at least if you show up that way, even if you get the same old usual things that you bump up against, you can set the tone and even just lead by example in your family dynamics this week. And also be prepared to be surprised, because we're all growing so rapidly that it's very, very possible that your family members, even if you are in regular contact with them, this week, there could be a surprise in the sense of they may be a lot closer to alignment with you, with your narratives, with your beliefs. Again, it's energy. This is not necessarily the time to have the big debates, but it's the time to feel into people's energy. We can tell the difference between when people are just placating us or when there's a genuine connection. You're going to have the gift of genuine connection with family members and somehow even in your home this week. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, it's another one of these weeks so far. We've got another major arcana, the star in the house of Leo. Remember last week I was talking about when a card goes into a house where it's well aspected. Yeah. So some cards in Leo that are well aspected would be like the lion, the strength maiden with the maiden taming the lion, the star, because Leo is a lot about self-expression. It's about putting yourself out there, being in the limelight. Everybody has this week. Everybody's going to feel maybe a little more confident, like stepping out into the limelight. This is your time to shine. Is it okay for all of us to step out into the limelight? What happens if we're all stepping out into the limelight? Well, our collective guides are saying, you just take turns. But it isn't about this for one person to shine, another person has to be diminished. This is a week where we say, gosh, if we're all shining brightly, guess what? There's a lot of brightness happening, right? So instead of being threatened by someone else's shine, let that inspire you. Say, hey, I feel ready to shine too. And look at this, 10 of Cups, the Sun, 7 of Wands, Star, lots of bright, shining energy, and really a lot of solar, universal cosmos activity this week. A lot of energy coming from our star ancestors, from the heavens. The heavens are really, Meg and I talk about as above, so below. The heavens are really with us this week. It's like a kind of a heaven on earth energy. Wow. Right? Okay, I'm going to take a little breath here and put my banner up because somehow I forgot to do that again this week, and you'll all forgive me, I hope. There it is. Let's get that going. So there you can save 10% with the coupon code Beyond Mystic, all in capital letters. Yay! Got it up there. Okay, so let's go to the next card in our wheel, which is the House of Virgo. This is health, habits, and lifestyle. Health, habits, and lifestyle. Another major card. Healthy habits and lifestyle. The Lovers in the House of Virgo. Well, for starters, let's talk about all of you Virgos. We have just come out of the Virgo season. We're now in the Libra season. The Libra season is about relationship and partnership. That goes from basically around the 21st of September to the 21st, 22nd of October. There's a lot of energy around relationship, partnership, choice, choosing and being chosen. So something in the realm of relationships that have to do with your health and your lifestyle. We could be looking at those of us that are single, we could be looking at attracting or being drawn to connections with people where the connection, it's like two people that share positive, healthy habits and they have a good influence on each other. Like there's a lot of times where maybe we want to eat a certain way, or we want certain kinds of physical activity or recreational activity, for health and fitness and well-being and so on. But it's hard to do all that stuff by ourselves, right? So it feels like there's going to be some kind of connection that's based on let's get healthy together. Now, if you're not in a relationship, like I said, this could be something that you're drawing to you. It could also be friends that sort of rally together or partner up for the purpose of getting healthy together. So this is a great week to pair up or partner up around health and lifestyle. So interesting. And look at this beautiful array. Okay, I'm almost getting nervous to put down the next card because it's like, oh my. We're on a roll, and I hate to jinx it, but let's see. We'll be fearless together and have a look. What is in the house of relationship? Okay, not bad. Not bad. It's our second number 7. I'm just going to spread these out a bit more. Got a little bit more space here. Yeah. This is our second number 7. So we have this card, the Chariot, in the house of Libra relationships. The Chariot is number 7, major arcana. We also have a 7 down here at the root, the 7 of Wands. And then the star is number 17. So we have, technically 3 7 energies here in this little spread so far. And again, this 7s are about spirituality. They're about our spiritual life path. And they have a lot to do with us doing inner work and being responsible for ourselves. This is interesting because this Chariot beside the Lovers, it feels like kind of a destiny. I don't know if you can see. I'm afraid to I might just put the Chariot card up to this camera. Do you see the stars above his head? You see that? Yeah. Okay. So we've got stars there and we've got stars here, and the Lovers are in the middle. So it's somehow a star-crossed week where people may find each other. I'm hearing, are people going to lose each other as well? Well, I'm not getting that. I'm almost getting, in looking for ourselves, we find our people. We're on we're on our own kind of mission, and we're not really paying attention. We're like just storming ahead and doing our own thing. But by being on our own path, we end up, well, I don't want to say colliding, that's not a good word with the Chariot, but we end up like literally being in the path of another person who is also looking after themselves and doing their inner work. So there's something very star-crossed, star-blessed, star-kissed destiny feeling about this spread this week. Even here in the house of Leo has to do with conception and birth as well. There could be a really incredible, a whole star group could be conceived this week. So we got the Lovers next to that star energy in the house of Leo, which has to do with birth and conception as well. So we could be literally bringing in a super potent frequency of, star nation beings. Isn't that incredible? And let's keep going here. So destiny, and there's our first challenge. There's our first trouble card, right? We know this card. We've seen it lots. 9 of Swords, anxiety. This is an old habit to break, isn't it? It's an old habit to break. And, my daughter and I were talking about this week. We were like, sometimes I just wish that I could, I don't know, soak my head or something and get all this anxiety out of it. It's like the rest of me feels like it doesn't really relate to it anymore. It's kind of like, oh yeah, that old anxiety thing, that worry. It's just like a really bad habit. And it doesn't mean that we don't look at things that are challenging. I say this so often. It means that we are actually like tuning in energetically first and then taking in the data. So we want to take the data in almost on the frequency stream of good energy, not on a distorted stream. Because if we bring the data in when our frequency is all distorted, the data is going to get distorted, if that makes sense. So there's something about really, if you find yourself going down these anxiety loops, you've got the Chariot on one side. Across from this, you've got the Sun. Let's see what the next card is. Oh, well, this anxiety is in the house of Scorpio, death and rebirth. It's really no longer serving us. This response of negative looping with the mind and the anxiety that we are basically taking on, it feels like it's so ready to be released this week. Scorpio is the house of death and rebirth, and we have right beside it the death card. Now, people get freaked out by the death card. I mean, death is a natural part of life, and if we look at it and see, like evil or darkness or tragedy or suffering, it's there to remind us that everything has its season. And the season of living on the edge of anxiety and worrying ourselves and like just having our nervous system so overrun with stress and anxiety, this is coming to a close. We are learning how to like bury that somehow, like compost it. I don't know why I keep just hearing like being outdoors, like take yourself out of the anxiety producing environment and discharge it as soon as possible. Now I'm being shown things like landmines. You know what it feels like, right? We get into one of those anxiety loops and you're just like, oh my gosh, how do I make it stop? So this is going to be your work this week, Sagittarius. It's actually helping us, all this change on the planet, all the stuff that we're letting go of. Like if we would talk to ourselves from even 2 or 3 years ago and say, oh, guess what? By the end of 2024, da, 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 we would just be like, no, we can't do it. So, yeah, it feels like we are needing to take a big breath and let it all out. Release, release, release. Release anxiety. Release this. Again, they just keep saying it's a pattern. It's just a habit we've gotten into. And habits can be broken. And basically, it's not serving us. If you're not doing anything about the thing that you're stressing about, if there's nothing you can actually do to address it in a positive, healthy, therapeutic way or helpful way, then please release it, is what I'm hearing. Okay, let's just have a little pause here for a minute. We're more than halfway through. And I'm being shown that there is this beautiful tarot card, Natural Candles by Carla from Ascension Organites. And I'm going to show these to you. Let's have a look. I want to make sure that it's coming up. Here we go. So you can access these. I'm going to move it around a little bit so you can look at them. Tarot card natural candles. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. The candles actually have the engraved image of the tarot card on them. And right here, I'm looking at the one, guess what? Guess which one is at the front, everybody? The star. It feels like in honor of our reading here right now. Look at this. There's the star right there, and there it is right there. Yeah, so amazing. It feels very timely that these have been produced and are available to us this week. So check out the link below where you can purchase these beautiful candles. Okay, let's keep going. The next card at the top of our wheel for this week is a very welcome friend. Okay, let my camera get used to this here. Doesn't like when I put my hand up. Let me just see if we can make it focus. Anyway, this is the Queen of Wands. I'm going to show her to you right here. This is the Queen of Wands. Do you see her? And she is, I want to say in a way, I want to call her the most colorful character. She's the artist of the tarot. And she's showing up in our house of the higher self, the house of Capricorn, which is really about us stepping into our life purpose, designing the life of our dreams. There we go. We got it into focus. She is about designing your reality, designing your dreams. Isn't this interesting? We've got a wand card at the bottom and a wand card at the very top. So we are being energized by spirit this week. And that connects to this beautiful solar energy that I was talking about, the star energy that I was talking about, this destiny card. And we're going through this kind of blip here with having to let go of a lot of stress and anxiety, deprogramming ourselves from, there's a lot of different ways that the cabal and the matrix have been effective in controlling us. And one of the biggest ways I've been saying for a really long time is destroying our imagination. Destroying our imagination and our creativity. So regardless if you got the facts right or you know all the truths, if you're not creative and imaginative and in your alignment, in your spiritual integrity, it's not going to be very helpful to know all those things. Just knowing them and kind of beating other people over the head with those truths is not super helpful. It's what you do with that information. What step do you take? How do you actualize that? I mean, get creative this week, folks. What is your talent? What do you feel creative about? The star is also, we talked about stepping into the limelight, being creative, being seen, showing your talent, shake your tail feathers, like really express yourself, step out of this anxiety by being creative. So whatever your art form is, and people say, oh, I can't draw, I'm a terrible artist. No, I'm not talking about just drawing. I'm saying life is an art form. We're all artists. You chose to come here and play in the 3D sandbox, right? And we've all been given a certain amount of palette colors to work with, right? Everybody's different. Everyone's got a different palette of colors and skills and talents and interests and imagination. So this is a week where spirit is literally charging us with this energy and saying, jump in, jump up and live, as one of my spiritual mentors used to say, jump up and live. Jump up and live this week. Whatever it is, music, dance, art, writing, poetry, storytelling, gardening, decorating, playing games, anything. Move your energy in a creative way. Get expressive this week. It's going to be easier to do that with all this line up here. You're going to feel like, even if you're like, oh, I love to dance, but I got 2 left feet. Don't worry about it. This week, your 2 left feet are going to cooperate with each other. They're going to be just a little less awkward. So play. Okay, coming into the home stretch, another major card. Woohoo! Another confidence card. Oh, wow. Confidence. Confidence across from the star. Aquarius. You know, it's a bit like sometimes you see other people picking up the baton, taking up the challenge, and you're like, oh, I wish I could be like that. Or I'm jealous. They have all the right stuff and I can't do that. This week, you may find yourself surprised to go, hey, I want to do that too. This is a hey, I want to do that too week. It's like for some reason you're going to be less inhibited than usual. You're going to be like, you won't even stop to think like, hey, I'm not very confident with this and this and this. You're just going to be like, I want to do that too. Like it looks like fun. Yeah. And it's also, there's going to be a lot of information sharing around new energy, new frequencies. I want to say new technologies, but I really want to make the statement or the the claim that the technologies are really more about the inner technology of us. You know, these outer technologies, amazing as they are, they're behind frequency wise. You know, for them to even show up on this planet means that we are actualizing that frequency probably a long time ago and they're catching up with us. So it's really when we step into the full frequency that we already are, that's when destiny starts like catching up with us. So there could be some really amazing stuff showing up this week, where it's like innovative, new solutions, new paradigm ideas. Interestingly enough, I'm going to be launching my dowsing course this week on Beyond Mystic. So we're going to be talking about that. Next Thursday, I'm going to be on the show with Janine and Jean-Claude, and we're going to be talking about my dowsing course. But this feels like part of that, like putting the tools, you know, the magician has all the tools on his table. This week is a time where you're literally going to be like, you're just going to be walking around finding the tools that you need everywhere. Like, you know, you talk to somebody, they're like, oh, here, I've got this new system or this new technology, or I have a new practice, or you know, a new therapy that's been really working for me. And you're like, I've been wanting that. Where do you get it? How do you find it? Lots of sharing about how to up level ourselves, how to upgrade our frequency. This is a real frequency week, everybody. It's all over. Sun, Seven of Wands, the star, destiny, letting go of the things that stop us from expanding, because we are expanding right now. We are expanding exponentially. Again, that energy of the heart that I talked about at the beginning, where it's just growing, 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 growing. And you're like, I didn't even know it could feel like this. I didn't know life could feel like this. Yeah. Okay. Last card. Well, second last card is the Fool. Okay. So I'm just really noticing all this beautiful light yellow energy over here. Do you see all that? Like it's all the way from the dress of our queen, and then the sky, and then all these yellow cups, and then this yellow sun. Do you see all that yellow? Yellow to me is it's confidence. You know, yellow is connected to our chakra that's in the center of our body. It's called the solar plexus. It's called the solar plexus because it's connected to the sun energy. And it's our power center. It's like our energizer battery that's at our center point of our being. And it gives us courage. It gives us confidence. It gives us energy. It warms us from within. So That's a lot of energy about having an up-leveling, I want to say, gift from spirit, energizing, feeling, look at, there's hardly anything here still holding us back. Just a little bit, but not very much. Okay, now I'm just noticing here as well, because I'm noticing this little black cat. Do you see the little black cat up beside the white horse here? And then we've also got the black and white sphinxes, which in some decks are actually black and white horses, and they're connected to the chariot card right here, right? So we're looking at this energy of the animal nature. So when I think of the animal nature, I think of the natural world. I think of our allies. So some of you did that beautiful spirit totem animal cards with Janine, looking at our animal allies this week. It's like I'm noticing lots of black and white. We've got a white horse here in the sun card. We've got the black and white sphinx here. We've got the white horse here in the death card. And then we've got the black cat. Oh, and we have the white dog. Do you see that? So there's this real energy of balance in the animal kingdom, with our animal allies. So it feels like your pets, your four-legged friends, are really working with you this week to bring balance and harmony. Every week, I mean, our pets are extraordinary in all the beautiful work that they do on our behalf, but this week especially feels very much like they are watching us. They're like noticing. Okay, so our pets see how our auras change. And we talked about seeing colors here. Our pets can observe that our frequencies are changing, and they may be looking at us differently. So if your four-legged friend is like staring at you and like looking like, who are you? What is going on with you? It feels like they are really, I want to say, noticing our growth, our evolution, and they are also supporting us in up leveling. It's almost like I'm hearing sort of like the overall archetypal energy of our pets saying, we've been so waiting for this. We've been waiting for this moment to see our human allies stepping into their beautiful, radiant, full spectrum frequency and not being so stuck, right? So our pets are a great, you know how they say, dogs and cats often, well, both, either or in different ways, they're a really good judge of character. They're going to be looking at your character this week. And if you get those looks from them, which are like, whoa, just know that they're seeing you. They're seeing, just like we look up at the sky and see those northern lights, they're seeing all the lights in our aura. And they're just like transfixed by us, really, is what I'm hearing. So look forward to that this week, everybody. And our final card is the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so you notice, I don't think we have a single pentacle here, correct? Yep, no pentacles. We got a sword, we got a wands. Do we have any cups? Yeah, we got a cups, 2 cups, no pentacles except in the middle. So this is an energy week. It's an emotion week. It's a feeling, energy, clearing thoughts. Look at this, the end of the old way of thinking. It's mostly energy and feeling this week. Not a lot of practicality or let's just say implementing plans. Not a lot of that this week, but there is a little foreshadowing here of where we're going in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We could be looking at real establishment of some new systems. So it's almost like if you have been struggling and frustrated that your business or your work or your money or whatever is like seems to be in a holding pattern or stuck, it's because it's waiting for you to get frequency upgraded so that we can't quite step into the new while we're frequency down in the old lower stuff, right? And I mean, gosh, we've been up leveling, up leveling, up leveling, but we're also expecting more out of life. You know, we don't just want what we wanted 5 years ago. So, in order for us to actualize on that level, we have to keep evolving our frequency, and the sun energy, the star energy is really helping us do that. Our pets are really excited that we're doing that. But we have to kind of get that happening a little bit more before the material realm can fill in the new frequency. It's almost like I'm being shown that we're taking up more energetic space, and the material realm will fill that in. But it's going to take a little bit. It doesn't happen instantly yet, right? Which is probably a good thing, because we're not quite ready for instant manifestation just yet. I think that would be a little bit overwhelming for us. But it is going to happen, and it's going to be happening more and more in the next 2 or 3 weeks and the next 2 or 3 months. So we'll be talking about that in these upcoming weekly videos. Okay, so I'm seeing a whole bunch of questions here. Let me just quickly run through and grab a couple out. Surges in energy. Sandy, thank you. Is balance in question, how to deal with the surges of energy? Let's pull a couple cards on that. That's a great question. A lot of people have been experiencing, well, I guess you could call it, like sort of surges in their own nervous system. I'm curious to see what our collective guides are going to say about this. So yeah, that's what I was getting. Yep, I was getting stop and go, stop and go. There's no race here. So interesting, Sandy, I'm being shown what I would call like the tortoise and the hare. And they're saying, be like the tortoise. Because we actually, there's no race. There's no like the first one to get to a certain frequency wins the prize. Like we each are going to get a different prize, and we each are going to get to that frequency at the exact right moment for our destiny. So there's no rush. And I feel like what I always see, what I often tell my tarot students, for example, is it's important to treat your evolution, your expansion, your intuition, all of these activations like you're driving a car. And if it starts getting too much, surging, overwhelming, like you can't hold the energy, you press the brake and you slow it down. You're not jamming the brake on. You're not getting out of the car and running away. You slow down, slow down. There's no race here. Plenty of time, miles to go. Everybody's going to make it. And we're all going to get there in the exact right moment that we're meant to. Interesting. For some reason, Sandy, I'm being shown for you specifically something about walking. And I almost am getting like I'm hearing something of like a walking pilgrimage, and I'm not sure what that's about, but it feels like there's something to do with a lot of walking and with purpose, I guess. And then, don't worry that if you pause all this frequency that you'll lose, that you'll miss out. It's actually going to kind of reform itself. And when you're energetically ready, it will come towards you in a new way that's a lot more easy for you to assimilate. So the surges really mean that we've gone a little too fast in a way that isn't quite in alignment for us. So we need to back away gently, take a rest, really slow down, go like the tortoise for at least 2 or 3 days, if not 2 or 3 weeks. Just slow everything down. Know that it's going to realign and come back in a gentler way towards you when the time is right. So that's what I'm getting for your question. Okay. There's a question about Mr. T. Let's pop that one up here. Will he be safe in his next few rallies? So I opened the deck, pulled 6 of Pentacles, Page of Swords. So 6 of Pentacles is a win-win-win, balance and reciprocity. So that's the next 6 is what I'm feeling. Look really good. And let's just see. Okay, so 6, I got 6 good. Maybe the 7th one, there's something that happens, but it's just a, well, I don't know. Am I saying false alarm, false flag? I'm not sure what I'm saying, but it's basically, it doesn't amount to anything. It could be just a scare, but it looks like overall he's going to be fine. Okay. And silver, there's a question about silver. This will be the last one. Will silver make a major move this week? I am just about to be doing some things with my silver today, so it's a good thing to know. And I'm getting 10 of Wands, the Devil, and Ace of Cups. Interesting. So I am not getting that, and I feel like it's so curious, right? Like silver making, it's almost like I'm seeing this small, you see that small silver coin, but the gold cup is really big. So it feels like gold continues to make big growth and silver small. How much longer does it go on like that? Like, gosh, it's really hard to make these predictions, but there's some reason why it's being held back. And I would say at least another week, if not month, before it's going to really make big moves. But again, this is really tricky to do predictions on because these things can literally change in an hour. Energetically, a lot of pieces can redistribute themselves. Let's just say that there is some reason why it's being held back, and it's actually, there's something about gold taking the front, the center stage being the major focus, at least for another little while. That's what I'm getting. Okay, everybody. Wow, we've gone on for almost an hour. I'm just going to sign you all off here by taking a moment to have a peek at our different bits of information that I want to share with you before I leave here. So Red October promo is still on. Let me see if I can pull that up. Here it is. And let's go into StreamYard and share this. Yeah. Okay. So Insider Access Pass. I'm just going to open it up a little bit more. Where is it? Sorry about this, everybody. There's so many tabs I've got open. Okay, so Red October promo, say 50% off the Insider Access Pass membership with coupon code IAP50. And of course, please check this out. Psychic Tarot card readings with Ashala. You can book an hour-long session with me. There we go. And you can use the coupon code below. This is Beyond Mystic, all in capital letters, to receive a 10% discount on your session. And also keep your eyes open for the upcoming workshop series. This is called Dowsing Level 1. And I'm going to be talking about, I'm basically doing a 4-module presentation on dowsing using a pendulum. So just going to make myself a little bigger there to say, have a beautiful week, everybody. And I look forward to connecting with you on Tuesday with Meg. Actually, not this Tuesday. Sorry about that. We are not doing our As Above, So Below show because I'm going to be right in the thick of my move. But I'll be back on here Thursday with Janine and Jean-Claude. And then next Saturday for the forecast for the week. And then also with Meg the following week. So